Hey guys, welcome back. This is a video that I've had kind of done since last summer. Haven't really been sure how to show it, but there's been a lot of talk lately, I guess because of show season, some new rods coming out on the market and how they really compare. So we're gonna jump right into this video where we take a bunch of the extra heavy style of rods that are on the market today and we're going to compare them. I'll kind of run right into the video. We're going to kind of describe how we're doing it, and then I'll come back at the end and we'll do a little bit of a wrap up. How do fishing rods that you guys can buy actually bend and flex differently, and is there that much of a difference between all of them? So what we're going to do is, I'm just on the side of my shop here. I put some white paper down and we're going to just hang some fishing rods here. And I got a 2-pound weight and we're going to hang it off of each rod, and we're going to try and see what the flex is out of some of these rods. And this isn't scientific because I don't have the exact same length of every rod, but what it will give us is an idea of some of the rods that you guys can buy: Chaos rods, St Croix rods, and I have a couple Thorne rods, and I also have one Kreamer Custom rod. It'll just give you guys an idea, and we'll see how much different the rods react to just hanging a static 2-pound weight. And just for the sake of how I'm doing it, I put a rod holder just on a chunk of wood. Actually, my quad right there is holding it down so that it stays steady. We're going to put each rod down to the reel seat in the rod holder. We'll run them up, and I'm going to try and keep it steady, and then we'll mark each one. We'll try and color code it, and then I'll write it down, and we'll see if we can come up with an overall flex pattern on how some of these rods react. So the first 9-footer I have here is a Kreamer Custom rod, 9-foot extra heavy. So as you can see, it's already kind of falling in between some of the other lines. Let's see if we can get a line marked on this one. Okay, so that's the 9-foot Kreamer Custom rod. Okay, the next one I have up is a 2020 Chaos 9'6" Assault Stick Shock and Awe. All right, so the blue one is the 9'6" Shock and Awe. Okay, the next one up is St Croix Legend Tournament 9-foot Big Nasty. There it is, stretched out. We'll get a line marked on it. All right. The red line here will be the 9-foot Big Nasty St Croix Legend Tournament. Okay, so the next one I have up here is a Chaos 2020 9-foot MOAB. So I'm running out of colors and markers, so I'll use a wider black on this one. Hopefully it'll stay. So there you can see that one probably is the strongest overall flex of it, of any of the rods I have. So let's get a line marked on this one. Okay, so the thick black line is the 2020 MOAB. So the next one I have here is a Thorne Bros Custom Predator Extra Heavy 9-foot 4-inch. So you can see that one's actually quite a bit heavier than even the 2020 MOAB based on this. So let's get a mark. I only have red left, but it's going to be well above the excuse me, the other red line. So let's get a line marked on this one. All right, so that last one is the Thorne 9'4" Extra Heavy, and that is definitely the heaviest rod based on this test. Okay, so based on the 9-foot, the 9'4", 9'6", here we are out at the end, and in my test, the Thorne Brothers 9'4" Extra Heavy which I believe is based off of a longer blank with some inches cut off to kind of stiffen up the tip. That's definitely the stiffest rod there. The next stiffest was the 2020 MOAB. The Shock and Awe was next, then down to the Kreamer 9-foot extra heavy, and finally the St Croix 9-foot Big Nasty. Run all the way down, and you can even see at this end where the rods were stiffer even down at the bottom end of them. And again, there's all the rods. I'll label them all separately, but I think maybe the big takeaway here is the flex patterns aren't as dramatic as you would think. The one with the probably the overall best taper on it might be the Shock and Awe, just based on that. It's got the most linear curve to it. Again, this is just a static weight test, and rods will definitely feel different in the water, but I think this gives you an idea of what some of those rods will actually feel like in your hands and where you're going to see some flex and how heavy they are. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching and hanging around to the end. And in today's world, everybody talks about power of rods. They all want heavy rods, or we think we do, all these huge baits that we have. And yeah, I used a 9-foot MOAB, one of the heaviest rods on the market last year for just about everything. But what makes a rod like this unique is its moderate flex pattern. And I think people need to understand that even though in this test, just a static weight shows the rod flex and the power of the rod, they all feel so different in your hands on the water, and you need to be able to try a bunch of different rods and see how they react to you. And for us, I really like the moderate fast action of a Chaos rod. It just gives me a little bit more insurance at the side of the boat because there's a little bit more of that rod that is helping you hold the fish, where some of the ultra stiff rods of years past that didn't have much flex to them, you were fighting the fish and you had to thumb it. You had to do a lot of stuff, a lot of rod movement to keep those fish pinned up. Today's rods with a slightly more moderate flex just gives you a lot more insurance and a lot more ability to do stuff beside the boat. So you guys keep that in mind when you are looking for a new rod. It's not just about power. Look at the action and look at the style of lures that you guys are going to use. And check out the video right here where we took the 2020 assault sticks and we compared them to the original series assault sticks in a very similar style of test, so that you guys know that depending on which line you guys want to buy, you know that you're getting essentially the same flex rod or flex and power and action in either lineup of rods. And until next time, 54 Bus is out of here. We'll catch you guys out on the water later.